So Arsenal 1, Manchester City 3. I think we were put back in our place as the pretenders, and the master came and schooled us tonight. Thomas Partey obviously didn't play the game. Again, we've been saying all season, if Thomas Partey gets injured, we're going to look a little bit different. Some poor performance out there tonight. Zinchenko being one of them. I think he had a blue shirt on for me. But anyway, Kenny, you were at the game. I can see you were... You're looking a little bit ready to go. So go on, mate. Off you go. How did you see that?
Well, the thing about it is that it's an indictment of us this season. Like, as you said, your best player, Lee, gets injured, and that's it. You fall apart. And I think it's a poor excitement of the squad. And it actually shows why we have a thin squad. But that doesn't tell the whole story. The fact is that, mate, the reason why you have good players and great players, the difference between a good player and a great player is that great players turn up at the big occasions and the big moments, and also they work hard. Today, City's work rate won the game to us. It had nothing to do with it. Arsenal fans could talk about controversies. Should Ederson have been sent off? For the penalty, and the referee gave Man City everything. Let me tell you something now. We've been carrying a lot of players. I think we've seen today that Martinelli should be dropped in favour of Trossard. Martinelli is not getting behind his man. He's coming too deep for the ball, and even when he actually comes down the left hand side, he's not getting the ball. So that is something that Arteta has to do. He has to drop Martinelli, and and play Trossard this Saturday. Because if we lose this Saturday, then I think psychologically the league is gone. But you have to talk about the mistakes. Tomiyasu, first phase of play, he needs to know what's behind him. But then again, your goalkeeper has to read the situation as well. He's come out and he's made it easy for Tomiyasu. So if Tomiyasu's pass was weak, but even so, you've got to know what's behind you. And then Ben White, you're basically giving De Bruyne an open goal. So everyone's going to talk about Tomiyasu. Yes, everyone's going to no. It's Ben. No, it's not Ben White. Not Ben White. I mean Ramsdale.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go on.
Right, sorry. So what I meant is Ramsdale. You've made it easy to De Bruyne because at the end of the day, if you're in the right position, he's got a lot of work to do. That could be a pass into the middle, but because you've come out, you've made it easy for him, and he's just had to do a difficult skill and score the goal. We get back in the game, get back into the game, for a penalty, and it was a penalty. People talking about setting off, but after setting off, it's like we were playing for the point.
Yeah.
And then what's happened is that everything fell apart. Granit Xhaka gives the ball away continuously, gets pressed out of the game. That
Grealish goal, yeah, and I know that was like on your side, yeah, where you were sitting. That was your side of the stadium.
No, it was the Grealish goal. Was at the,
sorry, no, it was at the other end, but it was on your side, right?
No, it's towards the east side of the stadium.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'm lying. Yeah, when Granit Xhaka could have put the ball straight out of play, which would have been on your side. I'm getting it mixed up. Sorry to play.
Yeah.
So Granit Xhaka's got 3 players around him. Just put it in row Z. Give him a throw in and regroup. Instead, he doesn't. He plays a blind pass into midfield. Then Zinchenko gets nutmegged. Gabriel, stick it in row Z. No, he passes it straight to Bernardo. Bang, goal.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They worked hard. They pressed it to their position. They actually got galvanised from when the penalty got disallowed. And that's the thing. They saw that they can get in behind us. They saw that, they're working hard, always getting men in front of the ball, making their little tackles, making their interceptions, winning every second ball. And that's something we haven't done. You had Eddie Nketiah. He is not making the runs, not making the right runs. His work rate was extremely poor today. And that's the thing. You can't carry 2 or more players in a big game like this. And that's the thing. I'm going to say it controversially now. Perhaps Man United and Tottenham results have papered over the cracks. The Brighton result, Newcastle showed had a game plan of players. Spurs were not good enough to implement that. They tried to win the game. Man United trying to play football. They didn't work as hard as Man City. Hence the fact we won those games. But when teams have worked hard, Man City worked hard in the FA Cup against us. Everton worked hard. Brentford worked hard. When teams work hard, then we're struggling. I think if you talk about the intensity we played at before the World Cup, and also if you want to talk about also the pace we played at as well, that's now come to bite us. Because when you play at that intensity, you have to be able to rotate. We haven't been able to rotate our players. We've got a thin squad, and it's come up to bite us. So players who are out of form, who are being carried, will have to play. Eddie is struggled in the last couple of games, but because he's only striker, he's got to play. Martinelli, before Trossard came to see, Martinelli's got to play every game. The same with Benjamin White. How many players are out of form? And then you've got a situation where your best player is getting pressed out of the game, but he still gives you that kind of sort of team balance. But when he's out of the team, that's it. Game plan's gone. And that's one of the reasons why you're going to probably look at Edu and you think, why did we get Casado? Why didn't we get a DM or someone who's a midfield general? Because it's going to come and bite you. Because, Jorginho worked his nuts off today.
I thought he played all right. I thought him and Tomiyasu were our better players.
Yeah, Tomiyasu, got that adrenaline out.
He could have easily let his head drop after that, and I thought he was the best player in our team.
Odegaard wanted it, but again, Saka's getting crowded out. There's no support coming out his side. You've got the whole situation, and that's the problem. It's all well and good saying we've got this game in hand against Everton. It's all well and good, so we'll feel it's a winnable game, but we're not playing well. And teams have got a game plan. People need to stop coming out with this rubbish and saying, "Oh no, teams haven't worked us out." They have worked us out, and the reason why they're able to implement their game plan is because we're running them empty.
Yeah,
we'll submit it. It's not a criticism; it's just facts. We all want Arsenal to win here. But we have to be able to look back and look where the problems started. And I say, since the World Cup, we've been running an empty. Since the Newcastle game, when Newcastle had that game plan, teams have worked us out. And we can't cope with that.
Yeah, and this is the thing. You say it on every show that we do. You have to win your midfield battles. You have to win your individual duels. Mate, there's too many players not winning their duels at all. Yeah, and then we're not winning them collectively. Then when we're like the amount of times today, like Martinelli was shocking. But the amount of times today that there was there was a sequence in the first half where 3 or 4 different players of us touched the ball, all passed into each other. They all had an opportunity to pass to Martinelli, wide open on the left. No pass to Martinelli. Then he comes back in deep. Now he's in everyone's way, and now he's not out there. Then Zinchenko's, I don't know what he was doing today. Well, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. But
again, sometimes this experiment of trying to get him into situations where we are dominating the ball, it's workable. But you have to vary it sometimes. Sometimes he has to get on the flanks. He has to protect like I said, stop attacks coming down that right hand side. Because first and foremost, he's a defender. Because I do get the situation when you do play Zinchenko, you have to be in possession, basically for maybe having about 60 or 70% possession. But when you don't have the ball, and when the teams don't have the ball, and you're still playing inverted, you're leaving space down the right hand side.
And he can't defend. He can't defend.
And that's the thing. You're going to have to vary it. You're going to have to look at it again. You've got to have horses for courses. Kieran Tierney's out there. Maybe with Man City, getting the numbers forward and getting on the overlap, maybe you could have brought on Kieran Tierney. There is options in that respect. The same option that you had for Ben White for Tomiyasu. You had the same option for Zinchenko for Tierney. I understand it's working, but the fact is that when the team isn't playing well, you have to try something different.
Yeah. And it's all predictable. It's all predictable, though, man. We all knew that when Trossard comes on, and he should have come on 10 minutes earlier, we all knew that when he comes on, it's Martinelli going off. Yeah. We all know that Eddie has to stay on the pitch because we ain't got another striker.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the header at the death near the end, his whole body shape, it was ridiculous. Like
it's all wrong. It's all wrong. But that's the thing. When you have a thin squad, you can't rotate players. Because simple reason is that, squeeze thin squads, 2 of your best players get injured, then you have to go what you have. I'm sick and tired of saying Jesus, but come on, that was a game Jesus would have loved.
Yeah,
he would have worked hard, and what it worked to press us into the game. The same sort of situation at Thomas Partey. We've fallen apart because one player ain't playing. I mean,
And that is a
myself,
damning indictment of this football club that's done 400 million quid, and we ain't got a squad good enough.
Well,
400
simple
million,
as-
our bench is
I know.
piss poor.
That's the thing. You know, your best player goes, and that's your team, and that's why sometimes it's lovely that we're playing beautiful football. It's lovely that we've got was it 51 points? It's great this stage of the season, but the fact is now this is the business side of the season where we have to get back in form, because we don't, then what will happen is that, you know, it's gonna come to a situation if we get the march and we don't got the points tallying, then we have to say that, you know, Man City are the favourites of the title. And right now, our field squad is giving Man City the initiative and can hand Man City the title. Because when you look at Man City's squad, thick, full of internationals and thick quality. But the thing that you know, like kind of, you know, like I said, defining feature between them and us is work rate. Work rate won today, not quality. Work rate.
Yeah, facts. Listen, get home safely, man. I know your battery's nearly dead. I appreciate the time, Kenny. Yeah, and
Right.
yeah, we'll speak when you're in, I suppose. But yeah, big up to you,
Speak to you
mate.
soon.
And take care. Love you, mate. See you, mate.
Kicks right.